My name is Ray and welcome to my studio. If you were here last week, you'll know that we painted this gladioli using ink to do the outline and watercolour. And this week we're going to be doing something almost completely the opposite. Now, I have been dabbling with a technique. I don't even know what it's called. If you do know, let me know in the comments. So I'm looking at creating these little illustrations whereby you just pop the watercolour down first and you just add this really loose style paint, really loose style in the middle, and then you add your detail as little or as much as you want to around the outside. And I'm really enjoying this. Lots of reasons why. And the main reason I enjoy doing it is because it's so much fun to do. I'd love you to join in with me today, and you're going to need very few supplies. You're going to need a micron pen, or if you've got a pen from Tom's Studio, you're going to need a waterproof ink. So this micron here is a 0.1 and it's a waterproof and spray-proof ink. So that's what I'm going to be using to do my drawing. Now, a quick note on the drawing. You'll see on your screen here that we do provide you with an outline, and that's yours free to keep over on our free membership level of Patreon. And if you're a paid member, you'll get that also for free. Now, I'm going to be drawing freehand onto my paper once I've put my marks onto the paper with paint. We're going to talk about that later. Just a quick note on the outline there that I flashed on your screen. If you are interested in learning how to paint the fuchsia in a lot more detail, we're going to be featuring that on Patreon as a paid membership for August 2026. More about that later. Let's get on with our painting. So we're going to just throw the paint onto the paper roughly where we want that outline to be. Now, the point about this is it's going to be fun, it's going to be creative. We're not about making accurate marks on the paper. This is all about having fun and just almost seeing where those lines show up on the paper once we put them on. I'm going to be using my paints from Deep Light. I haven't yet decided what colour to use, and I'm going to be using my half-inch flat brush from Craftomer. This is from my set from Craftomer, but you can use any brush you want to. It's entirely up to you. This has got a flat, square bottom. The reason I've chosen that is simply because it makes it look even more kind of abstracted, which is what I'm looking to do here. These are my paints from Deep Light. I'm going to be using Rosso Magenta because it's a nice pink colour and the fuchsia is a pinky purple. I know it's not exactly the same colour. I will be providing you with the reference photograph as well. So take a look at that over on Patreon. So if you want to just make it a little bit more detailed, you can do that. Rosso Magenta. Okay, I'm going to be using that. I'm going to use Green Woodpecker for my green. If you've got, if you're familiar with Deep Light, these are from my Raise Blooms palette. And we're also maybe going to use a little bit of Reed Buff. Okay, so 3 colours there, and they are from Raise Blooms palette over on Deep Light. If you did want to treat yourself, I have a discount code, Deep Ray. But like I said, you don't have to use whatever you want to. Okay, so let's get a mixing palette. And let's make a start with the magenta colour. Okay, this is a nice bright pink tone. And like I said, we're just going to be, throwing it onto the paper and not being too worried about making marks. So we've got a nice bold mix here of paint. This is Rosso Magenta. So I'm looking at my painting and I'm just going to put this on roughly where I want it to be. So a little square, a little triangle sort of shape there, little shape there, there, and there. Okay, that's it. Really simple. I'm cleaning my brush and I'm just going to put a few lines here like that. I'm going to add a bit of green. This is Green Woodpecker. And we're going to leave a gap here, put a little blob there, a line up there, a line there, and a blob there. And you might be thinking, Ray, what are you doing? This is crazy. No, it's fine. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. You can see there's a huge contrast between last week's and this week's. cleaning my brush, and I'm just going to take some of the magenta colour from the pan just to add a little bit of contrast here and there, and just maybe give it a little bit more shape. We have got these filaments coming down. I'm going to be leaving those because I think I'm going to just draw them in. Okay, this is going to be just a lovely, fun project to do. So if you want to join in with me, like I said, you can grab that free outline over on Patreon, as well as the reference photograph that I'm working from. Like I said, a little bit of a disclaimer, the reference and the outline are going to be forming part of our main Patreon image for August 2026 that we're going to be painting over there in much more detail as a proper botanical piece. And I'm going to just pause at the moment. I'm going to pause at the second just to tell you a little bit about my paid Patreon so that you can just take a look and see if you'd like to join us there. I'm going to pause this video, play you a little insert, and then we can jump right back into this tutorial. Earlier I mentioned Patreon, which is where I slow everything down and go deeper into botanical painting. Alongside the free outlines, there are 3 membership levels for anyone who'd like more time, detail and guidance with me right here in the studio. Now, Clematis is the core membership tier. This is where I share longer, more considered botanical art tutorials, materials, outlines, reference photograph, in-depth process so that you can create art that you are proud of no matter what level that you're at. And for those who'd like more personal support, my Rose tier includes everything from the other 2 membership levels, along with one-to-one time with me via video call, individual critique, and a video response made just for you. Magnolia is my monthly mini tier. Now this includes shorter, more relaxed lessons, things like quick doodles, small studies, podcasts, and informal explorations that fit easily around your everyday life. Remember that if you're a member of the Clematis and Rose tier, you'll also have full access to everything in the Magnolia tier, so nothing is missed. All of the tutorials across Patreon are suitable for all levels. I teach using a learn to paint as you paint approach, so whether you're just starting out or whether you've been painting for years, you can follow along at your own pace. Patreon is also very easy to use now. Everything is kept in one place. You can use the search bar to quickly find the tutorial or topic that you're looking for without having to scroll endlessly. And if you're planning to stay for a while, do take advantage of the annual membership. My Patreon is about making space for depth, learning, and evolving botanical art practice. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, we'd love to see you there. So we're going to let this dry completely, and then we can start to think about adding all the lovely details to our painting. I'm definitely enjoying, I'm calling this my art journaling era, simply because I've been painting lots of different things in my little art journal here, as well as journaling, commonplacing and all of that stuff. We've got quite a few little images here that we've been painting over on right here on YouTube. Let me see if I can find some others. Some of them are my own personal pieces, but these are all YouTube videos if you want to go and check them out. So just look through and see which ones appeal, and they're all there, all for free. These are some ones that we did earlier in the year, one last year. Like I said, all free over on my channel. So if this kind of content is something that appeals to you, do consider subscribing. I'd love to see you here as a regular viewer. I'm going to pause this video, let this dry, and I'll be right back. Paint is dry, so I'm picking up my Micron pen. As I said, it's a 0.1. Now, these are quite difficult to use on watercolor paper, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. Now, if anybody has any idea what this kind of painting is called, or art is called, then do let me know in the comments. As I said before, I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested as to what this is. So we're just going to start by making a line here. Notice that I've gone inside the paint line, and sometimes I'm going to be taking this outside. So it doesn't matter. We can just kind of go like this. So we're just kind of working roughly where we see these leaves. So we're going to come down. Remember to take the pen outside the pencil line as well. It just gives it that little bit of interest. We can add the detail in a little while. And I'm not going strictly to the reference photograph. I'll say that just so you think I haven't gone completely, lost the plot completely with this. So I'm just going to have this one coming down like so. Okay, we can add a few lines to just give the idea of there being a little bit of interest there, and we can take this line beyond there as well. So here's a little bird. So we're just going to add like a little line there and some lines coming off it, and then we had another sort of bird coming off this way. The paper I'm using, by the way, is Arches 300 GSM rough surface, and is great for this kind of painting. Any kind of painting is my favourite paper. So I'm just going to add a few leaves as well, just for a little bit of detail here and there. And add another little leaf here. And we have this kind of random. Okay, so now we can start to add a little bit of detail to the fuchsia. And all I'm doing here is I'm just drawing some lines where we want the kind of depiction. Let me get nice and close. Show the viewer where the kind of veins are going and the direction of the leaves or the petals. I haven't used reed buff. That's okay. I was going to use it on here, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just using the pen just to add a little bit of detail and interest. We can add extra leaves. It's up to you how much detail you put. The great thing about this is it's just about having fun and being creative, which is kind of where I'm at with my YouTube channel at the moment, and many of you seem to enjoy it. So we're now going to add the filaments. We have a little pointy bit coming down, and then just a few, I'm making these up, just a few lines coming down like this. I think this kind of illustration looks really, really cool, really interesting. Like I said, it doesn't have to be botanical accurate. With these, it's all about enjoying the process and having fun. I think what I'll do is just add a tiny bit of reed buff, which is this kind of beige, just to add a little bit of interest here and there, and just almost bunging it outside the pencil lines. Doesn't matter, just blow that in. And then I'm just going to add a few details to the stamen and anther. You can add a bit more, you can add more upward petals if you want to, and just have fun with it. And there we have, I'm not quite sure, I think I've spelled that incorrectly. And we are summer 2026. Should know how to spell it by now, shouldn't I? So remember, join in, okay? And we have a Facebook group if you want to share your finished paintings online. We are a lovely group. We're a closed group, and that means that you just sign up to join by answering the usual questions, and it's a great space to share your finished paintings from these tutorials that we give you here free on YouTube, okay? This was all about having fun today, as usual. This one was a little bit more detailed last week, but if you just like throwing paint onto paper and just playing around with this kind of block colour first concept, whatever it's called, I'm really enjoying it, and I think it looks really cool. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, like I said, join up. I will link it in the description box underneath, and it's also on my homepage. And if you want to treat yourself to these paints, you can do, but of course, there is nothing to stop you from using what you have. I'm all about that. These are from Deep Deep Light, from Ray's Blooms palette. Rosso Magenta, I used a tiny bit of reed buff and a tiny bit of green woodpecker for the greens. Green woodpecker is a granulating colour, as you can see. It's kind of separating out as it dries. Thank you so much for watching. This has been really fun. My name is Ray, and this is my channel, and I'll see you soon.